Seeing the Cyclops world boss the other day in Ashes of Creation was something that we've all been waiting to see since Alpha 1. Yes, Ashes of Creation is moving along in a positive manner, but it's very imperative that Intrepid continues to ask us questions in their dev discussions so they can be sure they're creating the game that we all want to play. We saw the Cyclops and his mechanics, so it's no surprise that boss mechanics is the topic here. They actually flipped the script on us. The question for this month is, what are your favorite and least favorite boss mechanics for small and large group content in MMORPGs? Do you have any memorable fights? And if so, what made them special? Let's take the first part of that question and break it down. From my experience with bosses in several different MMORPGs and MMO-like games, what I enjoy the most is the teamwork. You might disagree with me, and that's fine. No boss that's actually worth fighting in any MMO should be able to be soloed. It shouldn't happen. It's wild that it does happen. This has nothing to do with skill level, finding people to play with, or whatever reason that's out there. It literally comes down to game design. Forgive me if I'm speaking out of ignorance. I'm not saying that there can't be any bosses that are soloable, but when it comes to the highest and hardest type of content in a game that is literally made for a group, I don't think it should happen. I understand that players continue to grow and push past their current skill limit, but for me, a great boss fight requires the required amount of people playing at a high or acceptable level to accomplish the task. That boss will have several mechanics that require the team to work together, whether that be half the team getting split up to deal with ads and the other half dealing with puzzles, while there's a timer for the boss's wipe mechanic. I'm spitballing, but what I'm getting at essentially is the type of boss fight that I'm looking for is gonna have team mechanics that can't be tampered with. Again, you don't have to agree with me, and I'm well aware that there are bosses that are soloable in certain types of content. I'm simply referring to the hardest type of content in the game at that time. I think it's different if the content has been out for a while and several ways to defeat the boss that aren't the intended way arise. Power level is also another thing to factor in for old content as well. I can imagine that Ashes of Creation would do something like this, as I know Steven is super firm on the whole you have to earn it, and about the world of Verra being a very sociable place. The second question was, do you have any memorable fights? And if so, what made them special? So let me be a degenerate here for a moment and just hear me out. I know it's not an MMO, but just hear what I gotta say. The new raid in Destiny 2 was released a few months ago. Me being an avid player, I said, hey, let me try to get the day one clear. It wasn't really a day one clear because it was open for the weekend, but you get it. I spent about 30 hours with my homies attempting to clear this raid, and we did. When you're with your party, or even better, when that party consists of your close personal friends and you're all trying to achieve this goal together, it makes it a memorable moment. Even when I played Embers Adrift the other day and we got to fight the dungeon boss and the world boss, I got a real big sense of accomplishment because it was done with homies. I can go on to say the same thing for the fights in New World, but another thing that these all have in common is how they made me feel. Spending 30 hours within a few days on a boss, wiping several times, looking for the boss throughout the dungeon, I can literally go on forever. But it's the feeling. It's actually getting to see what loot drops, but the feeling is gone once you don't get what you're looking for, but that's a whole nother story. I think Intrepid really understands this because of their whole risk versus reward thing, which makes me think that the most memorable moments will be those first few times that the boss is taken down, just like in most games. But with the intensity of being a more hardcore game, the feeling may be even greater in Ashes of Creation. From what we saw in the May Development Live update, this really gave me hope, honestly. We know that Intrepid is focusing on the team, gameplay aspect of everything, so I can't wait to see more of that. What's really cool about this is that this opens up even more conversation for what the end game boss mechanics will look like. That's what I want to know more about, but we probably won't get that anytime soon. Hey, what are your thoughts on boss mechanics? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you haven't created an Ashes of Creation account, feel free to use my link in the description. Most importantly, hop on in the Discord, man. Come kick it with us. If you're looking to keep up with me, feel free to follow me on Twitter and Twitch, where I stream the live monthly updates and some other MMOs right now. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.